there we go. Microphone hooked up, ready to go. All right, let's get it. What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another Cleveland Guardians series recap, series preview live stream. I mean, I've been doing this now for how long? You guys know the deal. It's been over now 6 months, damn near 5 months for sure. Going on almost 6 months of baseball. Wow. I've been doing these streams for over 5 freaking months, and I don't think I've missed a freaking series. I might have missed one, but that's it. It's so crazy because if you are a psychopath and you've watched every single one of these, shout out to you, but you have seen me go through a roller coaster of emotions this year. I've been down in the dumps and I've been on cloud nine many times this season. But of course, the Guardians went to Boston, or I guess, as you say, they shipped up to Boston, right? To Fenway Park, one of the oldest parks in the major leagues, right up there with Wrigley Field, of course. And so funny because whenever we go to Boston, I always talk about this. There's always shenanigans that go down in those games, just like in New York against the Yankees. Every game is seemingly like on the edge of your seat. Like, it's crazy, right? So we're going to jump right in. Of course, game one, I streamed it. So I'm not really going to dig too deep into this one. But of course, we had the kid, Parker Messick, getting the start, his third official start as a major leaguer. In fact, before this game, the Guardians also brought up George Valera. They brought back John Kenzie Noel, and then they brought up Zach Kent. So yeah, 2 hitters and a pitcher. Sounds good, right? Messick was actually pretty good, believe it or not. I mean, 3 2/3 innings. His pitch count was sky high. You know, they both teams starters got worked like crazy in this game. 9 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 2 Ks, 2.08 ERA. One of those runs was on a balk. Go figure. And it's like the balk. I mean, he was about ready to pitch, and then he just goes flailing off the mound. Okay? But one of the other runs was on the derpiest home run I think I've ever seen. Because, of course, at Fenway Park, for anyone who's never seen the park or they've never been there, they've never watched a game there, like TV or whatever, the right field foul pole is very short. Right field is insanely short. Literally, the wall in right field comes up, I think, right around your knee area, like your calf. I'm not your calf. That's low. That's a low. It's not. I don't think it's Dodger Stadium low, but it's right up there. I mean, I've seen players literally go for a ball and they fly into the crowd. Like, that's crazy. I can't believe they allowed the walls to be that low. I mean, you guys remember Austin Jackson, right? With the Guardians or the Indians long ago. The bullpen wall, which is where the low wall begins, the wall is so low. My dude, Austin Jackson, caught a ball in center field, flipped over the wall into the bullpen, and still made the catch. One of the craziest catches to this day. I don't think anything's going to really top it. All right, so let me just real quick change my channel on TV. Let's watch sports. Okay. Now, Brian Bayo was on the mound for the Red Sox. 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks, 3.07 ERA. But that story home run originally was called a ground rule double. Because here's the funny part about it. John Kenzie looked like he caught the ball. But I guess the ball came out in the process, and somewhere along the way it hit the pole. It's a very funky situation. And let's just say the Guardians and the umpires, they don't really have a good relationship lately. We saw what happened in the last series, right? Guardians had a game pretty much almost won, and the umpires kind of messed up a little bit, if you know what I'm saying. It was bad against the Mariners. Game was tied at 2. They were ready to go to the top. Was it the bottom of the ninth? I think it was. And they threw the ball to first. It looked like Kyle had his foot on the bag, but they called it. You called them safe. They looked at it, still safe. That cost us 2 runs in that game, and we eventually lost. I'm sorry, it was in the 7th inning. Yeah, it was in the 7th inning when that happened. So of course, very next game, those kind of shenanigans happen. It's freaking hilarious at this point. Like, what the heck's going on here with us and the umpires? So yeah, we actually do lose, of course. Guardians actually were up 3-2 after of course, they scored 2 in the first, the balk, and then a Romy Gonzalez single, 2-0. Guardians fight right back with 3 runs in the second. Kafis RBI single, Rocchio RBI single, 2-run single. And that was during a very messy second inning. In fact, you could say the second inning was a curse for both teams, seemingly at times. And yeah, Bayo was just rough in that inning. The Guardians could have done so much more damage. But then the top of the order comes up. Boom, boom, boom. 3 straight outs. Like always. Right? They should have done some damage. And just as is tradition, Trevor Story ties the game with an RBI single. Because, of course. Bottom 5, Narvaez adds 2. Bottom 6, there was the Trevor Story derp home run. Made it 6-3. The Guardians wouldn't go quietly. Zardo solo shot made it 6-4, but that's all they would get. So yeah, Guardians lose 6-4 in the first game of the series. Bayo's now 11-6 with a 3.07 ERA. Sabrowski took the loss. He's 0-1 with a 2.33 ERA. Of course, that whole situation with Sabrowski, it really wasn't all on him, but he's got to be better. Again, you want to know how he got in that? Sorry, I'm just all over the place right now. You know that little phrase? I can't remember what movie it's from, but he's like, "Yeah, that's me." You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Well, that's Sabrowski. I believe it was bottom 5. Yeah, Sabrowski came in for Festa, and Buddy forgot how to freaking get outs. Ref Snyder double, Eaton walk, hit Rafaela. So just like that, bases loaded. Oh, brother. Narvaez 2-run single, and then it just fell apart. And it could have been way worse, too. But they had 2, and then we don't really threaten after that. Yeah, we don't really threaten much after that. So Yeah, we lose 6-4. It's a bummer. Sabrowski's 0-1 now, 2.33 ERA. Chapman locked in his 28th save of the year. He's pretty much unhittable. Oh, my camera froze, but you can still hear me. But yeah, he's pretty much unhittable. What you're seeing on your screen right now is exactly how the Guardians hitters looked against Chapman. It was bad. So you're probably wondering, okay, how would they respond, right? Guardians had 4 runs on 8 hits. Red Sox 6 runs on 14 hits. Right? Chapman has a 1 ERA. Sobrowski 2.33 ERA, of course. I already talked about the starters, what they did. Bayo, 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks, 3.07 ERA. Messick, tough game for him. 3 and 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, 2 Ks, 2.08 ERA. So that's it for that one. We go to yesterday's game, and you want chaos. This game was the bona fide definition of chaos. This game almost had everything: implosions, offensive explosions. It had almost everything, man. Oh my God. Neither team really could get a stop for the most part. It seemed like whenever a team would score, the opponent would have a response. Mainly when we score, they'd have a response. Yeah, that happened a few times. Guardians would respond, top second, Garrett Crochet on the mound. I think I said during the preview, I was like, this dude's gonna cook us. He's gonna whoop our ass. He's gonna bend us over. Yeah, all right. Saccone on the mound for the Guardians, and he was ass. It's got into this guy, man. Holy crap. Sheesh. He's just talk about falling off a damn cliff. Rake in the face right here. God. To be fair, he did give us, good length, giggity. 5 1/3 innings, but 11 hits, 8 Ks, 2 homers for Saccone, 7 earned runs. But not to be outdone, though, Garrett Crochet, the Cy Young candidate, 6 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, 4 Ks, 4 homers, 2.67 ERA. John Kenzie homered in the top of the second, gave us a 1-0 lead. And you know what really sucks about that? He homered. That's it. That lead lasted about a third of an inning because Slade Saccone only got 1 out in the bottom of the second before the floodgates opened. Like I said, the second inning was a curse for both teams in this series. First, it was us getting a couple runs in the second. This game, it was them. Nathaniel Lowe doubled. Romy Gonzalez single tied the game up just like that. Yoshida ground rule double. And then Rafaela RBI single, 2-run single, 3-1. And then Narvaez single. Roman Anthony RBI single. And then Saccone picked off Narvaez the second. So there's your third out. Well, I guess the call was overturned. So he was actually safe. And then Bregman would fly out. So yeah, there's that. So they scored 4 runs in the second inning. Lovely. Guardians don't respond in the third. Nate Lowe goes yard, bottom third, 5-1. And I'm thinking, oh God, here we go. And just like always with this godforsaken team, out of nowhere, the offense explodes. For Crochet. Keep in mind, Crochet's still in the game. Right? At this point, he's only given up 1 run. I'm thinking, oh, we're gonna get we're getting cooked by this fool. Austin Hedges, the leadoff hitter in the inning, right? Second pitch of the at bat. Takes him deep to left field over the monster area, in the monster area. Austin Hedges, who has been one of the worst hitters on this team, keeps a Cy Young candidate deep. Just baseball. But they're not done yet. In the words of Willie Mays, or was it? I almost said Willie Mays. Oh my God. Hang on. Hang on. I said Willie Mays. Oh my God. It wasn't him. No, it wasn't Willie Mays. He's a baseball player. Willie Mays. Willie Mays. Oh my God. Yeah, he's a baseball player. Yeah. He died last year. But in the words of Billy Mays, but wait, there's more. As David Fry with a runner on and Anna Martinez goes yard, making it 5-4. All right. So, you know, it's again 5-2 with Hedges' home run. 2-run shot for Fry, cuts it to 1. I'm thinking, oh. Noel singles. And then Brian Rocchio homers. Like, face you see on screen right now is exactly how I looked when I saw that. I was like, Rocchio homer? I mean, it wasn't J-Ram or Kyle. Rocchio. His 4th home run of the year. I think 3 of his 4 have come in the last month or so. Like 2 months or so. It's been insane. It's like, where has this been? My dude was practically unplayable for a while. Now all of a sudden he's competent? You mean to tell me Rocchio is batting .235, which is actually pretty good considering he's doing better than Kyle. This guy was batting sub 200 for a little bit there. Now you mean to tell me he's batting .235? All of a sudden, this dude is hitting like crazy. He looks like a legit professional baseball player. Where has this been? But I love it. So he hits a 3-run homer to give us the 7-5 lead. Slade did it again. Because I swear, it's a tradition for this team to get a lead and then almost immediately take a big dinosaur-sized diarrhea dump on the mound. Every single time. Couldn't even enjoy having the lead for 5 freaking minutes. Literally, he got 1 out. Again. Gave up a base hit. And then, guess what happens next? You have 3 guesses and 2 don't count. Did he strike him out? Did he give up a base hit? Yeah, he gave up a base hit. But what happened afterwards? Did he strike him out? Nope. Did he fly him out? Nope. 2-run home run. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. Here's a cookie. Yeah. A 2-run homer. Just like that. In the bottom of the 6th. Pitiful. Ceddanne Rafaela ties the game with a homer. It was on the very first freaking pitch of the at bat, too. In fact, he got Gonzalez to ground out on 2 pitches. One first pitch to Yoshida, double. Very next pitch to Rafaela, hits it out. And this freaking loser thought he could sneak an 83-mile-per-hour slider, which you might as well just take the ball, and put like meat around it and dunk that thing in hot and sauce, whatever, spaghetti sauce or whatever, meat sauce, and just throw it at the bat. That's a meatball. This dude's gonna eat it up. Damn. All right, so yeah, just like that, they tie the game. And then just when it looked like we were going to be able to try to get to the 9th inning, top of the orders coming up, maybe have a chance to take the lead. No. Talk about an implosion. Yeah. Yoshida comes up against Gaddis. Single. Pinch runner comes in. They get a pop out, a force out, and a fly out. So they're okay, we can get out of this. There's 2 outs. Perfect. Right? Nate Eaton comes up, but they bring in Cade Smith. There's freaking Vogt over managing again. Brings in Cade. Cade implodes again. Single to Eaton. RBI single to Bregman gives them the lead. Duran double. Another run scores. Story double. 2 runs score. Zach Kent comes in and gets the final out. This dude, Cade Smith, came in and didn't even get an out. He just came in to throw diarrhea everywhere. Yeah. He came in and just started spewing diarrhea everywhere. Kind of like a hippopotamus. For anyone who's watched nature videos and you see a hippopotamus doing its business, going to the bathroom, when it takes a dump, it flails its tail around like this and spreads it all over the place. That's what Cade was doing. He was just flailing dung everywhere. And you know who we can thank for that? Not Stephen Vogt. Emmanuel freaking Class A. All because he wanted a little extra money and he decided to do a little gambling. By the way, we haven't gotten a resolution to that case yet. I don't think we're going to get one this year. That dude pisses me off more than anything right now. Because you're taking a dude in Cade out of his role as your 8th inning guy or 7th, 8th inning guy. And you're forcing him to close games now because you're a freaking idiot. Like, really, it still puzzles me. With Luis Ortiz, the reason why he was flagged was because of 2 pitches. We didn't hear anything about that from Clase. Was this dude legit gambling? I just thought of something. What if he gambled on Luis Ortiz's pitches? The FA is asked immediately. Get rid of him. Suspend him for life. Cleveland Guardians are trash baseball team. Offense in baseball. We got the worst offense in baseball yet. We actually were able to score runs in this series. Yeah, the offense dries up every once in a while. But that's what happens, So yeah, we lose 11-7. Rough game. Yeah, Ciccone looked like 5 1/3 innings, 11 hits, 8 Ks. That's so weird. 7 runs, 11 hits, but 8 strikeouts. And then 2 homers, 4.78 ERA for him. Crochet, not much better. 6 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, 4 walks, no, 0 walks, 4 Ks, 4 homers, 2.67 ERA. And if there's any Tigers fans watching this for some reason, because maybe you just want to hear a Guardian fan rant and rave, what we did to Crochet probably just won Skubal another Cy Young. So yeah, if he wins the Cy Young, which he probably will, you guys can look back at that Crochet game against the Guardians because we kicked his butt. Our bullpen did the hippopotamus thing everywhere. I mean, diarrhea, who was going everywhere, man. It was bad. Like I said, there's always shenanigans when we play the Red Sox. Always. It seems like every year there's always a game like this, too. The Guardians would be trailing, they have a big inning, they take the lead or come back, and then immediately they just lay an egg or, you know, bubble guts, baseball bubble guts. It's bad. So the win went to Slayton. He's 2-4, 3.42 ERA. Gaddis with the loss. He's 1-2, 3.49 ERA. Yeah, it was bad. So then we get to today's game. Rui Cantillo brought back up. I believe the Guardians said they're going to go with a 6-man rotation during this 17 games stretch because they don't really have any off days. And I think they might just do it for the rest of the year just to take it easy on these guys. Season's almost over. You don't want to exhaust them, especially because we might have John Means coming back soon too. We'll see though. But tonight, the Red Sox actually went with a bullpen game, which is interesting because I thought it was going to be Dustin May. But yeah, they went bullpen game. So Brennan Bernardino got the start against Joey Cantillo. And the Guardians once again struck first. Jose Ramirez RBI ground out. 1-0. But they weren't done because Joey C actually put up goose eggs after we scored. It was beautiful. It was amazing. No response runs. I love it. But then top second came. And also keep in mind, Bernardino only lasted not even an inning because the Guardians, they beat him up pretty good. A double by Kwan, a wild pitch, the ground out, Manzardo walked, Noel struck out. And Bernardino was in there for most of that because, of course, bullpen game, they had a strategy. They bring in Jordan Hicks, the former Giant, also former Cardinal closer. They're trying him as a starter. Well, at least they were. At least the Giants were. Didn't really work out so well. Sox got him in the Devers trade. Still stinks. So yeah, Joey C goes 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. Second inning comes up and the Guardians just let it rip. Bo Naylor double. Gabriel Arias in his return to the lineup after missing a couple days. He goes yard. 3-run homer. He's officially hit 10 on the year. Love to see that from him. 3-0, just like that. Kafis, ground rule double. Rocchio, single. Steven Matz comes in. Kwan comes in immediately. Single, making it 4-0 on the second pitch. 4-0. And then, fly out by Martinez. Doesn't move the runners, though. That's big here. Because then, once again, the umps try to get wonky on us. This time, it didn't backfire on our end. Ramirez, like a little swinging bunt kind of thing. Funky little hit. Barely even gets out of the main, gets past home plate. I don't even think the ball even got halfway to first base. Long. Runner scored. J-Ram goes to first. And then Kwan goes to third. And then almost immediately after that, wild pitch by Matz. Kwan comes home, 6-0. And then Cal Manzardo. This is just bad. This is just unfortunate for poor Kyle. Hits a ball pretty good, right to left. There's a little error by Duran. 2 runs, or no, another run scores. Manzardo slides in the second, but he doesn't slide on the bag. He slides to the right, misses the bag. He comes off for just a teeny little bit. And in that process, they tag him out. Originally, they looked at it, they called him out. So he doesn't even get the hit. Doesn't get the hit, doesn't get the RBI because it's an error, and then he's out. Oh, that's just brutal on his part. Runner still scores though. 7-0. And then it would be that way until the fourth when the Red Sox would actually score a run, courtesy of a Nick Sogard RBI single, but that's all they would get. Because then it would just be 7-1 almost until the end of the game, when in the 8th inning, the Guardians would add one more run just for good measure with a Kayfis sac fly, making it 8-1. And the Guardians would essentially just shell up and rely on pitching and stuff and get the 3 outs, and he would end the game. So there you go, Eric. Good redemption out of you. So the Guardians win the 3rd game. They avoid the sweep. Cantillo, phenomenal game from him. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 7 Ks, 3.73 ERA. It seems as though he does really, really good on short notice. Huh. That's interesting. Whenever we call him up on short notice for a spot start or whatever, he goes out there and shuffs. But God, we leave him in the rotation too long and he doesn't start spewing like diarrhea. He just starts pooping everywhere. It's not bad. He just isn't great. He deteriorates by every start. And then Bernardino again only went 2/3 of an inning. 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk. But of course, the main culprit for this destruction was Jordan Hicks. 1/3 of an inning, 4 hits, 4 runs, 1 K and a homer. He has a 6.95 ERA. So yeah. The win went to Cantillo. He's 4-3, 3.73 ERA. Bernardino takes the loss. He's 4-3 with a 3.22 ERA. And if you're wondering about the Guardians' record, it's 69-69, which is double nice. Very nice. Yeah. Very nice. 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 Very nice. Pitchers from last time. So yeah, Logan hasn't faced the Rays in 2 years. Last time it was 2023 in Tampa. 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 homers allowed. Is 10-10, 3.70 ERA, 155 Ks. Logan Allen 7-10, 4.42 ERA, 105 Ks. And as far as matchup wise, Allen against the Rays, Diaz, of course, has his 1 hit as a homer with an RBI. That's it. Arias Jones, of all people, have home runs against Pepio. In fact, as soon as it loads up, and Shane Baz. Eventually, this thing's gonna Sunday at noon. So yeah, if you're wondering, am I gonna stream that game? Of course not. Duh. It'll be the kid Parker Messick against Drew Rasmussen. Remember, the last time Parker pitched against the Rays was at home. He was phenomenal. Best start of his career. He's only had 3, but that was the best start of his career. And then, of course, we face Rasmussen. Messick, of course, I talked about what he did against the Red Sox. He was Not bad. Could have been better. But Rasmussen, coming off another no decision, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 Ks. We'll see how this one goes. Rasmussen's 10-5, 2.74 ERA, 115 Ks. Messick, of course, 1-0, 2.08 ERA, he has 14 Ks. And of course, this game is a noon start. So this game will be going on while the Browns are playing. That'll be weird. That'll be extra, extra weird. All right. So what else is there to look at? Against Rasmussen, Kwan has an RBI. Ramirez has an RBI. Against Messick, nothing. A whole lot of nothing. That's what you like to see. That's what you love to see right there. So it should be a fun series. And then after this, we get Kansas City at home. Should be fun. But yeah, with that being said, that's going to wrap it up for another Guardians series recap, series preview live stream. Keeping it nice and short, 45 minutes. That's short in terms of my live streams. If you guys know, you know. But yeah, shout out to everybody who tuned in. And again, I'm not going to be streaming these games because football is on all weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Football every day. I'm going to be watching it because it's back and I've missed it so much. So we'll see how the Guardians look coming out of this series. And then I might do a game or two of the Royal series. We'll see how that goes. Because I believe the series starts on Monday, but it goes Tuesday, Wednesday, so we'll see what the pitching matchups look like. I might end up doing one of those games. So yeah, with that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap this up and have a good rest of your day or night. And like I said, R. Jones, I mean, if there is a representative from Lockdown Guardians and, you wanted to add a interesting personality to your list of content creators, I'd probably listen, but honestly, I don't think I'd do it. I like doing my own thing. I like doing my own thing on here. Not to mention, it's fun to not really be, having to worry about getting yelled at for slandering the team. Because you know me, I tell it how it is. If the Guardians are trash, I'll let them know about it. I'll say, you're garbage. You're ass. Booty. Think I'm out here talking about diarrhea half the damn time. Spewing diarrhea everywhere like a hippo. By the way, that's real. They actually do that. When they go to the bathroom, if you go to a zoo, right? And they have a hippo exhibit. I mean, I'm not saying, stick around until they take a dump, but just saying. Look up videos of it. They do that. That's how they do it. That's exactly how the Guardians were in this series at times. Spewing poo everywhere. In this case, the poo is the baseball. It was a rough series. At least we didn't get swept. And you know what's even crazier? Despite all this garbage, the Guardians are still, 3.5 games out of the wild card. The baseball guys are just waiting for this team to go on a run. Do they have it in them? I don't know. There's less than 30 games left, and they're quickly running out of time. Those 2 series against Detroit are starting to approach over the horizon. I don't know, man. We got 1 series against the Royals coming up. We got the White Sox coming up. We got the Rangers at the end of the year. Got 2 against we got a 4-gamer, I think, against the Twins as well. Yeah. It's going to be tough, but I'll be here for it. Not sure how many games I'll be streaming, but I'll be doing a couple. You bet your butt I will. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. Have a good rest of your night or day, depending on where you're living, because I know some people live on the other side of the world. You know, hello to everybody overseas, you know, whether you live in Asia or Europe, right? Maybe like you're still in the United States, but you live in Hawaii, right? But yeah, again, as far as my streaming schedule this week, it's going to be the same thing, right? You're going to have a stream on Saturday, Grambling State, Ohio State. Sunday, Browns, Bungles, and then we'll see about Tuesday with Guardians and Royals. So with that being said, for real, guys, I'm out of here. Go Guards. I'm Crazy Dog, and I'm out. Bye-bye. Safe to say the Guardians woke up for this series. The offense woke up. Bullpen was kind of until the final game. And by that time, we were already up 8-1, pretty much. Good job by Joey Cantillo to salvage the series, though. We don't want to get swept. No, it's a vibe killer. No, go take care of business in Tampa, whatever. Go take care of business against the Rays, and we'll be feeling good. But with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go Guards, and I'm out. Bye-bye. For real. Yeah.